Your shift is ended. It's early morning and you're tired and ready for bed. Parking your car, two men approach from a dark street. All those hours of training suddenly sharpen your focus as danger advances on your door. Stop the threat. Start now. Hello and welcome to Stop the Threat. My name is James Towle. On this week's episode, we take you to the windy city of Chicago, where a homeowner, perceiving danger approaching, quickly takes control of the situation before it controls him. We call this one Trained and Prepared. But let me introduce you to this week's panel. Jeffrey Phipps. Jeffrey is a 29-year veteran firefighter. Jeffrey is also an NRA certified pistol instructor in North Charleston, South Carolina, and brings to this show his experience as a 911 supervisor. Mike Herd. Mike has been in law enforcement since 1976. He's also been a contractor for Homeland Security and now works part-time for a security company while he awaits reassignment overseas. Mike is also a firearms instructor, writes a number of articles for Gun Magazine, and finds time to write his own, which I read and enjoy. Jorge DeLeon. Jorge is a former police officer and in his last 3 years was assigned to the SRT, or Special Reaction Team. 2001, Jorge began a career in the U.S. Army and was wounded in 2004. He then moved to San Antonio, Texas, where he is now a CHL NRA certified instructor. Welcome all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have an email here. I'd like to go right straight to the question, actually, and I think you're all going to enjoy this as much as we are. So I'm going to start with a quote, just as he wrote it. I grabbed my firearm and took after them. When I caught up to them, then when there were three, I told them to get down on the ground and shot around into the dirt to show them I had a real gun and meant business. Then I called 911. I told the operator I was holding them at gunpoint and that the operator instructed me to put my gun down. When I did, one of the people on the ground overheard that conversation. He immediately got up and ran away. What should I have done is his question. Where do you want to start? You know, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because I know you're out there and I know you're listening to the show, but there were some mistakes made, and I think we're going to talk about some of those mistakes. And who wants to start with that? Okay, all right.
Okay, well, I don't know what happened before he grabbed the gun, or she grabbed the gun, but just going out and doing a warning shot, shoot to the ground, you know, I don't think that was the right thing to do. And second of all, the 911 operator told him to put the gun down. I would never wouldn't done that. And what that person could have done, I mean, there's so many mistakes, like you said, that we could be here all day talking, and a lot of things could be different.
A lot of things could be different. But what I didn't tell you was they had robbed the man's house, and they were leaving the house. Also, he did shoot that round into the ground, and I guess because the cell phone was open, that the perp actually heard that. So when he got up off the ground and walked away after being told by 911 to put his gun down, you know, he's thinking, well, what went wrong here? What should I have done? And maybe I'll have time to answer. In fact, I will make a point of answering that question when we come back. Don't go away. Welcome back, viewers, especially you folks out there on social media. This is going to be a question I want to hear from you on because there's a lot here to talk about. Let me give you a little more background. One, these three individuals had just robbed this man's house, number one. So he picked up his gun and he went out. And when 911 told him to put down his weapon, the bad guy gets up and runs away. And now the writer is saying, what should I have done? I got to say that my first answer is going to be, so what? Let them go.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no personal threat there. I don't
Right.
know why they did anything like that.
Right. And do you think that would be the reason why 911 would say, put your gun down?
I'm unfamiliar with the processes that they use in the area that this individual wrote us from, but going back to the beginning of it, they robbed his house. He knows what they look like. Get a detailed description. Stay there because your house is already unsecured. Don't chase them. It's not.
Yeah. Don't go hunting.
Don't go hunting. Don't. It's not the Wild West. We
Right.
don't chase them down like a posse.
Jorge, I'm wondering this. Did he say to 911, I shot around into the ground? If he said to 911, I shot around into the ground to make sure they understood I meant, but if he said that, I can see where 911 might think, okay, it's a little unstable. Why don't you put your gun down, sir? I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing.
It could have happened that way. It could have happened that way. I don't recommend nobody to do any warning shots or shoot to the ground.
Right.
And that's not going to prove anything. All you're doing actually is wasting a bullet there, money, and some places it's even illegal to do a warning
And
shot.
not only that, you could hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. We're going to watch part 1 of Trained and Prepared.
Which house are we hitting?
I don't know. That's why we're out here looking at them.
What about that one?
Nah. It's got an alarm system.
Well, I'm bored. We are gonna hit a house tonight, right?
No, we're just checking them out tonight. Then we come back tomorrow with a plan.
You're overthinking this. Like, look at that guy. It's a place to be out, isn't it?
Don't. Damn it.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm a little lost.
Who's there?
Okay, how many times have we come home at night? We've been working all day. All we want to do is probably go inside, have something to eat, maybe watch a little TV, your favorite libation, and go to bed. So you're probably thinking that when you come out of your car. You go up to the front door. You're unlocking the door and you hear someone calling you in the dark. Did they do everything right here?
I think when he got out of the car, I personally like to take a look around and see what's happening around, get an idea of anybody in the neighborhood. If there's anybody moving around, especially at 2:30 in the morning, I kind of want to know about it because why are they running around my neighborhood? That's
Okay, all right.
Yeah, in my case, I could say, for what I saw, the guy was doing everything perfect. You know, yeah, a little bit of detail maybe if you have more training about, you know, paying more attention to his surroundings when you get out of the car. But for a normal person, he was really prepared. He was getting ready. He heard the voice, turned around, and he's not even presenting nothing yet, but
Who's
you
there?
can see that he's getting ready,
He's thinking about it.
thinking about it just in case. So,
You know, this could be your neighbor's kids.
Right.
And maybe they've come out of your neighbor's home and they're a little disorientated, so they're asking you a legitimate question.
But the kid said Jimmy. He called him by name.
Did you say Jimmy or did you say excuse me?
I thought I did
Yeah,
say Jimmy.
excuse me.
Excuse me. Okay,
Yeah,
excuse me. I guess
yeah,
I couldn't hear
right.
very well. But it's like he got his attention almost like he knew the guy.
I think one of the two was a little more professional than the other when it comes to bad guys, okay? I think one of them realized that, hey, we're going to case the place out, we're going to find a place, we're going to plan it and come back later. And the other one was a little excitable. He sees what he thinks is an easy target. And I think the results of this are going to be devastating, is going to be my first guess. But I can see where that you're coming home at night. If you don't see somebody running across your yard, that you might be just kind of like, I'm tired, I want to go to bed, come on. And he goes up to his front door, and suddenly he hears a voice from the dark. But he's smart enough to, again, sort of blade towards him as he uncovers and reveals that he is armed.
And it was 2:30 in the morning.
It was 2:30 in the morning. Okay, so again, he's tired. It's 2:30 in the morning. Things aren't looking right. Yeah. Okay, probably getting that feeling that something's wrong, right?
Absolutely.
The neck hairs are standing up.
All right, let's see what happens when we come back. Don't go away. Social media, you're going to like this. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. We're talking about different warning systems that we could have maybe deployed around the area, but in this particular case, the man's coming home to his home. He doesn't perceive any danger, and then a couple of people out of the dark are speaking to him. My first reaction probably was, stop right there, I can hear you fine, what can I help you with? As I'm a big voice intimidation kind of a guy. I think, if you have a voice and you can use it, then you should use it before you get too far into that.
An authoritative command presence goes a long way towards either de-escalating or escalating a potential conflict.
Yeah, the escalating part would be?
If that person wants to be in charge, you can.
Oh, okay, so now you got a shouting match.
Now we're going to have a shouting match.
Oh, okay,
except I got a louder voice over here.
Yeah, right on my hip. Yeah, the big dog. Okay, Jorge?
But like you say, having that tone of voice and doing it with, authority, it goes a long way, and I totally believe in that.
I don't think it's enough of it that goes on.
Yeah.
We do this reenactment thing. We've done it for years, and in every single case, no one has used voice intimidation. Yeah. And I don't know, were you not taught that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually had it happen to me once. I was getting my jacket out of my motorcycle. It was a cold night rather, and I caught this guy out of the corner of my eye sneaking up on me like a cat. He was, scrounged down like a cat. And so my hand went to my pistol, and I started screaming at him, "Stop right there! You want to get shot?"
Yeah,
and,
right.
Oh, he stopped dead in his
Right,
tracks.
right, yeah. Okay, let's watch part 2.
Excuse me. Hi, I was hoping for some directions.
Who's there?
Hi, yeah, like I said, I'm a little lost. I was hoping for some help.
No need to come any closer. Where are you trying to get to?
Well, for starters, I was hoping you could give me everything you have on you.
Two men just tried to rob me outside of my house. One of them had a gun. I shot at them, and they ran off. I'm going to wait inside my house until the officer arrives. I'm at 5400 Brown Street.
Okay, the first thing I want to say is I think he said Jimmy too. Did he not?
No, listening now, it says, "Excuse me."
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounded like Jimmy to me that time.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the man is safe. He's inside his home. He's locked the door. He's contacted 911. I guess I can't, or at least I don't see anything wrong with that part. I'm having a little trouble sending that many rounds downstream and not hitting anything. But I think that's probably common. Okay?
Too common. We are responsible for the final resting place of every bullet that comes out of our gun, both legally and morally.
Right.
And his marksmanship skills were terrible. It oftentimes is.
Yeah. Right. I think someone once said to me, there is a lawyer attached to every bullet that comes out of the gun. Right.
Well, he needs to train and practice with that gun, definitely. I'm worried about where those rounds hit. That's a neighborhood where the houses are too close to each
They're
other.
skipping off the cement.
Yeah, but one of the things that he did right was, he went inside. He didn't went and follow them.
Right,
He went inside
right.
the house,
He didn't go
locked the door, called 911. He told them what happened. and they said they run away. I'm still here. I'm gonna be waiting for the help to get here. So I think that part he did really good.
Okay. Would you have backed away from the door when you called 911?
Yeah, maybe a little more
what-
training detail.
Yeah,
but
might have backed away from the door.
I would have backed away probably against a wall that is not facing the road
Yeah.
or the entrance.
Yeah.
A lot of things could have been different, but at least he went in,
Yeah.
locked it, and
Right.
didn't follow.
I didn't see him
Right.
lock the door.
I did not see him.
I didn't see him lock the door either, and I think that's why it occurred to me that distance is your friend, as they say,
is.
right?
Yeah.
So come inside, he did everything right. I would have backed into the room a little bit, given myself some distance, should they turn around and come back, since I probably didn't hit any of them. And
Now that you're inside your house, move back to
Yeah.
your safe room where you have your long gun, where you have more ammo, because I didn't see him reload either.
No, I didn't see a reload, and there was nothing about a reload. All right, let me ask you this. Is it, are you happy with Bang Bang? He's coming up the driveway, he's continuing to come to you. You're obviously not trying to intimidate him with any kind of voice action, and he's coming. So now I'm drawing, and I'm just emptying my weapon right there.
In the scenario, you see him pull the gun out early, which I don't know that I would have done that. I wouldn't have pulled it out and showed it to him, but I believe that's more to show us that he had it and it was out. When the other guy pulled his gun,
Give me everything you have on you.
he's getting shot until he drops the gun or until he falls.
Okay.
His partner has already turned tail and run. I wouldn't have shot at him.
Okay. You go with that?
Well, I go with that. I'm just saying the person have to know the target and what's beyond the target. So I would have said that if you're hitting the target, but you're not hitting the target. He's keep moving, running. You should stop shooting.
Yeah,
you know?
and one of the reasons why I like this reenactment is because I think that was real. I think the average individual, and you guys teach them,
Absolutely.
the average individual, if that took place, they might have been smart with their training right up to the point of bringing the gun out, even smart in their training in not hesitating when they see the threat. When we come back, folks, we're going to give you a few tips on what may have been better here. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. We've seen the reenactment. We've seen some of the nice things, some of the bad things. We don't have a lot of criticisms about the homeowner, but we do want to leave you with some advice. So I'm going to go around the table. I'm going to start with Jorge. Jorge, what could have been better? What could, to help me?
Yeah, better. I would say the only thing I will improve in this scenario will be the shooting. Go to the range and train as real as possible. Make sure that you know your target, what is beyond the target. Once you press that trigger, you cannot call that bullet back, and you're responsible for it.
Right. I'd even go one step further. Not only go to the range, but find a good instructor to help you on the range. Because I think a lot of people can go there, they can shoot a lot of rounds downstream, but unless it's really been critiqued by someone, of your stature, then they can all learn something.
Yeah.
You can't learn it on your own.
I
You've
agree.
got to learn it from people with experience. But I didn't want to really go that far. But
When you're training, start out crawl, walk, run. You start slow. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Slow breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds proficiency, and proficiency brings the speed. Don't go to the range and think that you have to start out
Fast.
being able to rip off 15 rounds in 10 seconds.
yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
Don't be afraid of going to a lot of other instructors.
Yeah.
Even some of the best instructors in the country will go to each other's classes
Right.
because you can always learn something from somebody else. When you get to the point where you think that you can't learn anymore, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And citizens should be that way too.
That's a good point, and I want to just a little bit more. Yeah, you always have to be ready to learn more. You don't know it all.
Right.
You're
And no
always
matter how
confused.
much experience you have, you always will learn something. So I totally agree with that.
Okay, let me just throw this question up, although it is relevant. How often should a guy go to the range and train?
Well, it depends on the budget. The things, how they are so expensive today, so it depends on every person. Every person is different. But not only the range, you can train in different ways. There's educate yourself. There's talk to instructors, look online. There's a lot of ways that you can train. And if you can afford it, of course, as much as you can go to
Okay,
the range.
so you don't have a problem with air guns, though, do you?
No, air guns,
Huh?
you have to apply the same principles.
I dry fire exercise in my house at least once a week.
Yeah.
Walk through my house. What am I going to do if somebody busts through the door now? and walk through it with my unloaded firearm and walk through
Yeah.
and do what I would do in a mock drill, just dry fire.
Okay, let's assume you can afford it. How often should I come to the range, Mike?
I think you should come as often as you can. We use airsoft equipment. It's called force-on-force training. That's really good training, and you can get a lot done with that, you know. But as much as you can, I don't think that you can do too much. It's a perishable skill, and you must keep it sharp.
Right,
You
right.
need to go as often as you can, or as often as you need to remain proficient.
Right, and then what I like about the airsoft is, and I'm a big fan of that myself, is that you can get people involved who are, let's say, on the borderline of wanting a gun, but they're not sure, you know. So maybe you start them off with the airsoft, and then you turn them over to instructors with a, you know, with the right firearm. So
airsoft these days is very realistic.
yeah, it is. Yeah, as a matter of fact,
They even function.
They function well, and they have similar weights.
Yeah, and they
so
have
yeah.
magazines that you can change and everything.
I'm pretty happy with that, but we got to go. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your attention. I hope that you will speak to me on social media. This is a big subject. I'll see you again next week. Be safe, be trained, and be alert. Thank you.